Yeah, I was talking about before I went in there how glowies are kind of like, they've been pushing for it for a while. They're trying to get people to leave their house to do something. They never say exactly what, but they say like, you know, you guys are never going to do anything against the things that are happening to your cities. And like, I don't know what they're saying though. Like, well, I know what they're saying. What they are is they're trying to get people to put their neck out there, which is what they've been trying to do for years now, as they've gone into this, like, one of the final phases of, well, I think one of the final phases of their kind of plan for society in this new world and everything, is they want to get the people that may cause them problems. And not even cause them problems, but just people that won't comply. I talked about something in a video recently where there was this idea, or this program that was going to be utilized in the time of blackouts in America, where during the blackouts they would collect people that were like anti-vax or some kind of, or subversive in some way to the government or the plans of the state, you know. And everything they're doing is in service of that. One of the big reasons why they put Trump in, when if they put Hillary in, right, they could have gotten to the point, because each president does certain things. Each president is put in at a certain time they're groomed for certain things they do. There's usually a couple of them. There's a few alternates depending on how the atmosphere of the country is, and then they put them in accordingly. At the time when Hillary was going against Trump, she was going to be in. She was going to be the one to bring in all the stuff that you kind of see now, all the over-the-top tyranny that's happening now. How we're heading toward a fascist state in a fascist world. Not the kind of fascism that Antifa thinks. They're actually fascists, which is kind of funny. But so I think from watching that race develop, they got the idea that there would be a lot of pushback if they plugged her in. The idea was to run Trump to get people to find out who would support him, meaning who would be against them, or who would cause a problem for them. But they saw the overwhelming support he was getting in the race, and they're afraid if they put Hill Dog in, there would be insurrection of some kind, or maybe a lot of pushback. So it felt like the last minute they switched to the Trump plan, and you can see that in the polls. All the polls were indicating that she was going to win, and it seemed like that's what was going to happen. So the last minute they put him in. What they wanted to do with that was that would really tell them who was against them, because anyone voting for him would be against them. He's one of them. He's just a different group. He's part of the Saturnists, the Saturn cult. They're all Satan worshippers, but his particular group of people don't do the kid stuff. Hillary's people are the Moloch people. It's a lot of blood sacrifice and everything. They do the kid stuff. So the idea, so when they compete, these cults compete for power and influence. And when Trump was cracking down on the kid industries, it was to hurt them and undermine the Moloch cults, because they're always in competition for power and influence. Trump has the Jesuits. Excuse me, gotta light my cigarette. I'm a degenerate cigarette smoker. I have to though, because if I didn't smoke, I'd be I don't know. You see what happens when I don't smoke? I get people surrounding me. But if I smoke, they stay away. No one else out here smokes. It's crazy. No one. You'll never see anyone smoking when I'm out here. But ironically, at the same time, people will keep coming up to me asking me for cigarettes. I don't know what they do with them, because they don't smoke. They just walk away with them. I don't know. But yeah. So someone at some point decided it'd be better to put him in, and then we can scoop up a lot of these guys. Not scoop them up physically there, but it would really give them an idea how much support he has, where the support is, who these people are definitively, because they saw it during the race, as the race got more heated, it made them change their plans there with who to put in. Hillary famously backstage says, "I knew they weren't going to let me win." And a lot of people at the time was like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" That's what she's talking about. They fuck with them too. She probably didn't know until that night, you know, because these elite people that call themselves elite, and people call them elite too, I fall into that trap. They're not. They're fucking retarded. They all have much heavier people to answer to. You know, the closer you are to the devil, the more pressure there is, the less you can move. There was this old depictions, I forget who did it. It wasn't Gustavus. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was him, but it was showing the devil and the people next to him, his like highest in command next to him. And the closer they were to him, the more in bondage they were, the more tied up they were, the more unable to have any freedom at all. The closer you are to him, kind of the worse your life is. A lot of these people too are born into it. It's not like they joined. I mean, these very old bloodlines, very old lineage. So they're born into this. They don't join like a club or something. Their families have been in it for many years, you know. So I mean, it's gotta suck. And plus, especially if you're on the in the Hillary cult or their sect. There's three major ones in the world. The Eastern world has its own. The Korean premier was busted somehow. I think they threw her under the bus. Their own organization threw her under the bus, and it revealed that she was part of the cult over there. I always forget the name of it. I'm not going to try to say something and say it wrong, but yeah. So, but the cults, even though they're all on the same side, they kind of compete against each other, you know, for resources, power, influence, shit like that. So getting him out there was a way where they could figure out who they need to worry about and who they need to look at and be concerned with. And that's what this new push is. Well, it's not a new push. They've been pushing for ages on these message boards. I'm sure it's not just 4chan, where they glowies will come out and say like, when are you guys going to do something? When are you going to rise up? And anyone that's telling you to rise up, they don't have your best interest in mind. Rise up against what? What are you supposed to do? Form a militia? You're dead. Start talking to people in your neighborhood about doing something? You're dead. Attack Walmart? Who are you supposed to attack? What are you supposed to do? I mean, every which way is a trap. You know, like I was saying before, if you try to get something together, like some kind of group or even meet with anybody locally, which I always say is a bad idea, you would show up for that meeting and you'd have fucking these guys here, you know, the Abercrombie and Finch guys here. Everybody with the same watch, and they'd want to tell you about a friend they have that can get his hands on explosives. And then the building you're having a meeting in would be brought down by controlled demolition once it was over. It's fucking retarded. There is no way. Stand up and do what? And when I engage with these people, whether it's on the message board, even YouTube, YouTube comment sections, they're always like, well, you can't be a fence-sitting faggot. You're gonna end up letting these people do. We don't have to do anything. They're destroying themselves. What you do right now is you fucking sit it out. You don't do anything. It's our game to lose. It's our game to lose. They can't keep doing what they're doing. They're falling apart. They're eating themselves. The only thing you're going to do by standing up is making things worse for yourself, because then they can enact more laws to come after the rest of us. You know, well, because this Berg attacked the city hall or whatever stupid thing they want you to do, from now on you need a card to get past this checkpoint. You know, they do these things themselves. They do these things themselves. What was I watching the other day where they had someone from the Goyim Defense League, which is complete, that's a complete like Fed operation, right? But it had them, they had some kind of interaction with someone, And because that happened, there were new rules made. Maybe it was a campus. Because of this interaction. Well, the whole interaction was fake. So yeah, they don't actually need you to do anything, but to make these laws, because they can just put their own guys in and do it. But to make the real significant ones, the really meaningful ones, they need someone organic to spur. Thankfully, the people that would stand up and that do care and that do have some kind of patriotism for the country or their family or whatever, they know not to do anything. Why would you interrupt your enemy when they're fucking hanging themselves? That's what they're doing. They're fucking, everybody's watching, and Global Homo's just grabbing the fucking rope and going, all right, and Global Homo's getting the chair out, and Global Homo's putting the rope out of the rafter, and we're all watching him, and he's like, aren't you guys gonna do anything? That's what's going on. So no, we don't do anything. And they get still mad about it too. Oh my god, you see the demons come out in them because they're all full of fucking demons anyway. Quite literally. But yeah. Are you a coward? No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some stuff together, right? I'm gonna fill a backpack up with fucking some chemistry set, science stuff, and I'm gonna go tank Walmart. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? It's ridiculous. It's just they want you to stick in the code. So when they do come collecting people, they know who to come collect. Now, what I hear a lot from gatekeepers, right-wing gatekeepers, they always say, like, they don't have the resources to go door to door to do this. There's not enough people. They say this a lot, okay? Well, when you look at it, you don't need a super amount of resources. If you had the areas mapped out, right? I'm not going to tell you how they would do it or how to do it. I'm not going to help them. But they don't need a large force to do this. And the fact that they're always trying to tell you that it's impossible for them to do, it's the lady doth protect too much, you know? Hold on, it's gonna get. Yeah, okay. No, smoking didn't work that time. Dude, it's so weird. So weird out here. I mean, yeah, on the one hand, I am extremely paranoid, but I have good reason to be paranoid. People behave so strangely. It's like, as long as you don't get too close to them, right? As long as you stay enough distance away from them, you don't activate them. It's like AI in like old video games. I always think of Berserk for some reason. Block, humanoid, plop, intruder. That if you stay far enough away from people, you're not going to activate their AI. You know, they have a radius where you're gonna activate them. But once you activate them, they're gonna follow you around a little bit. They don't know why. They don't mean to. That's the whole thing I have to keep in mind too. No one's trying to be an asshole. No one's trying to surround me and walk real close to me, like back there at the corner, kind of trying to move, crossing the street. I got one right behind me, one right to my left, one left to my right. There's so much room out here, right? You can walk anywhere. You don't have to be in my personal space. But they automatically just do it, and it's like it's not them. They don't realize they're doing it. But that's, you know, that's the problem with these other beings you have to contend with out here. But yeah, the way forward is to do nothing. And they know that. And they hate that. And that's why they're always yelling at you. When you gonna do something? Please do something. It's like the meme with the stick, the FBI guy, you know, poking the guy on the ground. Come on. dutyism, you know. They need you to do something. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. I mean, even how you behave on like social media, even there you got to be careful. I mean, because in some countries they'll just come to your door and arrest you for saying bad words. The UK is like that. As cucked as you think the US is, the UK is fucking. It's embarrassing what they've done to those people. But in the same way, what are they going to do, right? What are they going to do? If anything, I think they're showing more backbone over there. And they're like, well, how? They're accepting all this stuff. Yeah, but they're smart enough to know that this isn't the time. Another draconian kind of fascist measure on top of all the other ones. What are they supposed to do? Like, get a fucking backpack and attack Tesco? There's no enemy here out in the physical realm. So they're getting cucked big time. And they're not doing anything, and that's good. That's good. It drives people nuts because people want to, you know, they want vengeance. But vengeance isn't ours. You know, it's the Lord's. And He is returning. And He returns with a sword. And chopping is on His mind. And He's listening to chopping in the headphones too at the same time. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.